it's supposed to feel.
Hip hop, what's good? Hip hop, what is good? It's your boy Rob Diggie in the building. We're still in the transformation era. This is still season 5, episode 5, 2 5s together, which gives us Mr. DJ Khaled, the one and only, one of the most charismatic artists in hip hop in a very, very long time. Actually, this is going to be our discussion today. So glad to talk about DJ Khaled. Just a couple of admin stuff as always. Be sure to go out to www.diggie2.com. Make sure you all go out there, support the movement, sign up for the newsletter, sign up for the merch, whatever you guys want to do, anything in regards to Diggie 2, what we're doing, what we're up to. Feel free to tune in to the channel. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. If you're listening, make sure you download the podcast, get all your buddies and friends that we always be doing. And thank you to everybody of our loyal listeners and watchers that have been watching us do our thing for going almost 2 years. I cannot believe we've been doing this for 2 years. It's insane. So and thank you to all of our supporters going along the ride. Now, my special guest today is Mr. Brian Little. So you may or may not have heard of Brian Little or what his connection is to hip hop, but that's okay. So Brian actually has a podcast of his own called Your Favorite Blockhead, where he talks about the Peanuts characters in conjunction with MMA. It's very unique, it's very well structured, and it's a absolute great listen if you guys want another spin on how the characters of the Peanuts cartoon characters are put together. You know, Charlie Brown, Snoopy, Lucy, all those characters that we all know and love. And then talking about MMA. It's a really, really good twist on that. And I have the host of that show, Brian, to come on here with me to talk about Mr. DJ Khaled. So, audience, without further ado, let me bring in Mr. Little here so you all can meet him. Brian, good afternoon. Say hello to the folks, man. What's good, brother?
Diggie A2 and YFB, two very reckless worlds are colliding here in the podcasting world this afternoon, my friends. I will tell you, it's an honor to be here. What you can expect on this episode is Rob here is going to take care of the music. I usually take care of the radio side and the persona of one and only DJ Khaled. Some people call it a divided highway. YFB calls it my way. And I certainly hope we will do this again one more day. We will run it back and have what they call another one.
Another one. Let's do it, man. Brian, love to have you here with us, man. Love your energy. Let's get into the facts, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff here to cover in a short amount of time about DJ Khaled. So I'm going to try to keep it as brief as I can. Okay, so we're going to be talking about DJ Khaled between 2010 and 2019. However, his span of music is way outside that, but I can only talk about him within these 10 years of hip hop. During this time, over his career, though, he is a one-time American Music Award winner, 5-time ASCAP Award, 2-time BET Hip Hop Award. 2 BET Awards, 13 BET Hip Hop Awards, 1 Grammy, 1 iHeartRadio Award, 1 VMA, and 1 Soul Train Award, and he is a net worth of $75 million, ladies and gentlemen. Just outstanding stuff what DJ Khaled's doing. He dropped 8 albums in this span. Now, me and Brian decided backstage before we started that we're not going to talk about all 8 of these albums, okay, you guys? So I think we all know the hits of DJ Khaled. So we're going to focus primarily on that. So I'm just going to run down some of my favorite hits about DJ Khaled. All I Do Is Win, of course, with T-Pain, Ludacris, Rick Ross and Snoop. I'm So Hood remix. I'm On One, which is one of my favorite songs with him and Drake. Rick Ross and Lil Wayne. I Wish You Would, featuring Kanye and Rick Ross. Take It to the Head, Rick Ross, Nicki Minaj, Wayne, Chris Brown. I mean, this guy's got crazy hits. They Ready, J. Cole, K. Dot, K. Dot and Crit.
It just makes it so many to choose from.
There's so many, man. I'm like, okay, then we get to October 2013. He dropped on us Feel Like Biggie, Feel Like Pac, No Motive, No New Friends with Drake, Rick Ross, and Lil Wayne. 2015, we got How Many Times, They Don't Love You No More, which is with Meek Mill. I love Meek Mill's verse on there. French Montana, Rick Ross, Jay-Z is on there. 2016, we got I Got the Keys for Free featuring Drake. Nas album done featuring Nas, which is an extraordinary song. If y'all have not heard that song from Nas on that one. But his most successful project is Grateful from June of 2017. So that one has the song with him, Justin Bieber, Chance the Rapper, Quavo, and Lil Wayne, I'm the One, which is an 8-time platinum. His DJ Khaled's biggest song to date is I'm the One, 8-time platinum. And then he has Wild Thoughts on there with Rihanna, Bryson Tiller, which is another 6-time platinum album. 6-time platinum single. And then he released Father of Assad in May of 2019, which gave us the hit Higher, which is where his one Grammy award comes from, which is with the late, great Nipsey Hussle and John Legend. So that is the premise of our discussion this afternoon. So thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in with us, hanging out and watching and or listening. And man, Brian, we got a lot to cover. And I'm thinking about where do I want to start? Let's start with the man himself. So when we think about DJ Khaled, Brian, there's so much that we could talk about, but I want to focus on the man himself. So give me a little bit about your take on DJ Khaled and how he became a radio personality to being a net worth of $75 million. So talk to me about that transition in your opinion. How did you get so far?
You betcha. 2 words come to mind automatically, and that word is Baskin Robbins. I mean, this guy is not only the brick and mortar building where you go and the guy owns it, but he's actually in there serving you the flavors of ice cream that you do want. I mean, we're only focused on a decade of time, but we can even go back as far as when he started changing up his moniker. I don't want to go too much into that. Yeah. I know, unfortunately, he did have to change his moniker from Arab Attack because of 9/11, how distasteful that was. Absolutely. And he handled that gracefully into this time period that just is the best. I mean, the answer I have to this one is simply, guys, did you not hear that arsenal that DJ A2 just laid out on you? Did you not hear the cannon fodder for Rob coming on all of these albums? This is a man that can sell a dying man a health club membership. This is a guy who could pass gas into a spray bottle. He can put a We the Best label on it, and they would fly off the shelves at Bath and Body Works. Are you not hearing what he is able to deliver? Everything from Lil Wayne to Drake to Rick Ross to Ludacris to even Nelly to Fat Joe, who's been a close fan of him, to T-Pain to Akon, all the way back to Out Here Grinding, even prior to 2010. Guys, we can't box this guy into one time period, but we're certainly doing the best we can. Yeah. Am I teeing this enough for you?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, he's worked with the best. I think what I admire about DJ Khaled, Brian, is his way of bringing artists together. He has a very, very collaborative mind state, and I want to get your opinion about that. So especially in music in general, like he'll bring a rapper from the South, a rapper from the West Coast, make a song together. You got Rihanna, who's probably one of the biggest stars on the planet right now. Got a song with her. Beyonce and Jay-Z on the same song. Like, this guy has put the stars together. I mean, some major stars, not only in hip hop, but in music in general. Brian, how is he able to do this, man? Like, you just talked about it. Like, this guy can sell ice to an Eskimo damn near. You know what I mean? Like, this guy is incredible. Like, how does he do this?
I think in a way he kind of gave a prelude to it. He did this interview once on Hot 97 that he mentioned something about where it's family. You know, you mentioned how you can bring so many from coast to coast together, and you wonder, how do we pull that off? He mentioned in that interview that this is a family mindset. Sometimes we got a problem here and a problem here. There might need to be that big brother that comes in and fixes it the next day once we get this figured out. There's something about how he brings that out. And also, this is a guy who always knows how to talk people up. If you're in podcasting or if you're in radio, nobody tunes into you if you go, well, I got this guy who came by. It's good to see you. When you come in and say you are living at a pinnacle, you're bringing in the absolute best. I only bend a knee to Jesus Christ, but I might actually kiss the ring of DJ Khaled if you were standing in front of me right now, just as I would for Diggie A2 and his podcast. I would do this. If you can do that and bring that fire, there's something about his persona. There's something about his delivery. There's something about wanting to give quality and living out the grind where there's not a whole lot of flack coming back at him. I think he did a beatbox video not long ago. Some of the internet doesn't like him, but he can still sit here and go, I will go back to my roots and I will show you that this is my reality. He'll pick up a guitar that he gets as a present and he'll just start putting out a beat, even if he doesn't know how to lay down a single chord or a lyric nonetheless. But this guy just has, again, sometimes you have the it factor, and DJ Khaled just has the it factor for the hip hop world and for all of these artists to collaborate.
I absolutely will wholeheartedly agree with that, and I think the audience will as well. DJ Khaled is a staple in hip hop, and I think he's done it, Brian, the hard way. Like he didn't like just come out of the sky, or he wasn't, born into the entertainment field. He earned his stripes. He earned his keep. He was a radio DJ. He was a club DJ. He was a DJ first, and he did it the hard way. And and he's worth every penny. He should be worth more than $75 million, and he probably is. I just caught it as of last week. So I mean, it probably even worth more than that. I mean, who knows what this man's.
He's kind of evolving into what you call the living meme. I think it's been thrown out a couple of times, but this is a guy that understands that words matter. This is a guy, like, if you are into anybody if you're even a WWE fan, somebody who can talk people into the room. If you all MMA like I do, there's something about being on the mic where you can just, the words you use that pull people in. I've used this so many times. When people think of the greatest boxer, they think of Muhammad Ali. Why? Yeah. It's not just because he was the greatest. He's the first one to say, I am the greatest. Yes. I think it was Eminem that said something about, if you can walk like me, talk like me, and not give a dang like me, but you're not quite me. No matter what these other DJs are doing, they're not quite DJ Khaled, a guy who can go out and curse and toss the microphone on the floor, and all he's doing is saying the importance and impact of the album that's coming up this summer. Yeah. This is something that the flair that this man brings to this world, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love the parallel about WWE, and I'm a big Ric Flair fan. And when I think about the flashy, the machismo, the charismaticness of Ric Flair, I think about DJ Khaled in regards to that when it comes to hip hop, and he has this positivity that I don't know where in the hell it comes from, but when you either see him on TV or hear his music or hear him say DJ Khaled or another one, or he has these catch lines, these punchlines, and you know something big is about to happen. And ladies and gentlemen, he's got the hits to back it up. I mean, I'm not kidding you all. I think we all know and love DJ Khaled. He doesn't have like the best albums, but this man is a true hit maker. And nonetheless, I mean, and I love On One. So, Brian, out of his catalog, what are some of the DJ Khaled songs or collaborations that you find yourself going back to every now and again? I mean, there's so many to choose from. I know
you named off a couple of them when you started going into I'm the One. It's one of those, you would think, why would I talk about listening to the Beeb? I'm not going to lie. When DJ Khaled could take the Beeb and he can polish and perfect him into what I'm hearing on I'm the One, or if I go back and hear songs that are pretty recent, like Every Chance I Get, then you've got my attention. You're pulling me in. And I have to throw it in there. This is not intentional. It's so weird how I get in touch with you and you go, actually, we talk next week. It was meant to be that something would happen with Will Smith, but we're not going to bring that onto the discussion. It just shows the parallel that I wanted to mention Will Smith and DJ Khaled mixing it up on the Aladdin movie score. You throw that one in too. This is a guy who continues to do that, and just him hosting the Hip Hop Awards of 2017, he getting his first Grammy in 2020. But those are three of them that really stand out to me. Is just, I throw out the Aladdin music they did with Will Smith. But I think anything that he's done with the Bee, but also Every Chance I Get's a big one. And there's always a few in the past, like grinding out here grinding, that always will hold a place in my heart. Yeah. Even when we're talking Akon. But those were the big three that really stand out for me. Yeah, and to go on top of that, he was in Bad Boys for Life. He was in that movie too with Will Smith. Yes. With the parallel Will Smith, for bringing that one up too. But he was in that as well. But man, for me, Brian, and man, I love All I Do Is Win. That song just really makes you want to
I mean, that's a stadium anthem. You can play it at a football game, basketball game. I mean, it's like a stadium anthem. Right. So I love that one.
Yeah, I want to bring that one up, but that's a very common place when a lot of people just know. You can walk into any sporting arena, you're going to hear that played at some point, whether it's the hockey rink or whether it's on the court. You're going to hear All I Do Is Win. So I agree with that one. I was like, did I want to bring it up? Yeah, we'll see if it comes to the forefront.
No, I love that one, man. I love that one. I love I'm On One. I like the older hits, because I live in a little bit in the past, but his more recent music, like Wild Thoughts with him, Rihanna, and Bryson Tiller, I love that song. I love Rihanna on that song, that video. I Got the Keys, with him, Jay-Z, and Future. Yeah. I mean, he's got so many hits, you guys. Like, we could talk about DJ Khaled literally all for a whole hour and a half, 2 hours. We just don't have that kind of time, but I do want to get, Brian, your take on DJ Khaled's legacy. So when we think back and look at this episode that we're filming right now, 10 years from now, who knows what DJ Khaled, what his imprint will be on music, or just music culture or popular culture. Because I don't think he's broken out of hip hop. We can't even talk about DJ Khaled hip hop anymore. This guy's in popular culture now, so he's just busted out of the scenes in that. But when we think about,
and that's what makes it hard is that his reach is beyond all that. Even making cameos and things like Spider-Man: Homecoming is telling you something about the guy. But
I mean, it's incredible. But I want to talk. What do you think? But when we go back and watch this episode that's going to air, obviously, I think today, as you guys are watching this, it should be April the 5th. If I got my dates right here in front of me, which I believe is when you all are watching this live. But when we go back and watch this episode 10 years from now, what do you think DJ Khaled's legacy is going to look like? How is he going to be remembered or revered once his career either is still going at that point, or how are we going to look back at his imprint on music?
Just when you think you know everything about DJ Khaled, you know nothing about him. I think we've only peeled away a couple of layers of the onion that is DJ Khaled, and it gets richer and richer the further we go into this. And this is a guy, once again, that will bring the heat, will bring the energy, just like this episode is bringing into the podcasting world. When the heads are turning, you know that we are mixing it up over here in the podcasting world. When DJ Khaled is out bringing all of these people together that nobody else could do except him, then that's going to be, I think the only way to do that, to be fair, is collaborative. In fairness, we can say collaboration is going to be the word that sticks with this man. But again, if you try to put DJ Khaled in a box, he's just going to break through that box and he's going to reinvent something else that you're not expecting coming. I changed a lot. What difference does it make? We're expecting some changes. We're expecting some transformations, just as you see in the title of this podcast.
Absolutely. I could not have said it any better. I think that DJ Khaled is a phenomenal talent. He will continue to be a phenomenal talent into the future of music and culture. And we love DJ Khaled. We love and DJ Khaled. Continue to give us the hits, man. Don't stop. Keep giving us the hits. And I think the last thing that I want to add on to what Brian said, ladies and gentlemen, that you're listening or watching, is the art of collaboration. This collaboration with me and Brian right now, two completely different worlds coming together to talk about DJ Khaled, which is beautiful. It's beautiful to collaborate and get to know people in your podcasting area or arena and just talk about different topics. And Brian, the door is open, as you are now a Diggie IG alumni. You can always come back. We'll chop it up with some other guests, man, and some other artists that have impacted the culture of hip-hop. But you guys, we're going to start wrapping things up, and how we have been doing that in all of Season 5 is paying homage to the life and memory of Daunte Wright with a chant of hands up, don't shoot, to memorialize Daunte and his family and to keep the drumbeat moving with social injustice in the United States of America. So, Brian, if you could join me by putting your hands up in the air, I'm going to say hands up. You will say don't shoot. We'll say that chant 3 times, and then we're going to get into the shout out portion. So, Brian, one time, hands up.
Don't shoot.
Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Rest in peace, Daunte. We love you. Thank you for continuing to watch and bless us and all of the others that we have lost through the social injustice in the United States. We got to do better. We got to do better. However, Brian is his first time on the platform. It's been an absolute pleasure, man, having you on, man. I really had a lot of fun. I love your energy. It is contagious, man. We got to bring you back and let's chop it up one more time, man. Actually, we might run it back. Who knows, you guys? We
might run it back.
We might run it back.
We might run it back. And another thing, if we mention DJ Khaled, is that we kind of want to remember this. Another thing, it's not just collaboration. It is contributory. I wanted to even mention that he does have, you look at DJKhaledofficial.com, the guy has actually matched so many rescue relief efforts, everything from California to Miami.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of one of those, even when he is doing well, this is a guy who gives back. You should be going looking and seeing all the contributions that happen there.
Yeah, and
but that's the great part about this.
We didn't even touch the philanthropic side, right?
Sure, but it kind of shows for us podcasters that we want to bring more audience your way. The world needs to know who Diggie A2 in podcasting is. You need to know who YFB is and know that we are family, just like they in promoting in radio, they are a family. Podcasting is a different type of family. Just looking for the connection, the collaboration. And as a wise man once said, another one.
Yeah, and we have delivered another dope ass episode. Brian, give me a shout out, man. Who you shouting out this week, brother?
First of all, we want to shout out all the guys in the YFB network. We got some episodes coming up from friends that are inside the network. You can find this at yourfavoriteblockhead.com/blog. That's where you'll find all the episodes. You'll find me on Apple and Podcast and Spotify. But don't forget about these guys. Wearing a shirt right now from my boys Casually Kicking It. Just went to an Orlando Magic show, basketball game last night. So I'm making sure that Casually Kicking It knows we're sending them some love. Tables, Layers, and Gimmicks. That's the one podcast where you have a father and son pro wrestling watch along. If you're into WWE or AEW, these are your guys to go to. Loud and P&A with Russ, my dear friend, The Burnout with Chris Barnett, and all those inside of the YFB network. So I'm promoting my podcast, but if you hear me, you will hear me promote the great friends. Rated JG is also another one we've got in there. So check out everybody in the YFB network, still growing strong. Long live the YFB network. And I hope to see you guys on my next episode when I go record it, which is Saturday. As I always say, it will be same blockhead time, same blockhead channel. And it is always fun to mix it up with other podcasters. So Diggie A2, much success to you. And I can look forward to the next time that you open that door. I'm going to kick it open and join you in the podcasting world again, my friend.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate you. Shout out to the YFB family, the whole crew down there doing their thing. You guys go check out their podcast. This man's podcast is phenomenal. I'm just going to put it out there. I've heard a lot of different types of podcasts, but Brian's is very different, very unique, and I love it. I absolutely love it, man. So thank you, brother, for coming on, hanging out with me on a Saturday afternoon. So shout out to Brian, the YFB fam. Shout out to Miss Connect the Dots, Jessica, for putting this together. Always working hard in the background. Shout out to my family. Shout out to all my supporters and everybody that loves Diggie A2. We love you guys. And next week, we're going to be talking about Wiz Khalifa, right? Wiz Khalifa next week. We're going to have some fun talking about Wiz Khalifa, so you all stay tuned for that. But that is all that we have for this week. You guys stay safe, stay humble, stay hip-hop. All right, 100, man. Peace.
Go.